Hi, I'm Brooke.
And I'm Hope.
And this is the Bookish and Bubbly podcast.
Woo!
Do I have a bald spot on the side of my head? No. Would you tell me if I did?
Yeah.
Do I?
No.
Hope.
No.
Beyond.
Look again.
I'm
Look
asking
over
Hope,
there.
do I have a bald spot on the side of my head? No one say if I do.
No.
Oh, no.
Why does it take you so long to answer that question?
It's just...
No, stop.
I told you
It just needed fixed. It's not that you have a bald spot. It is just the fact that
I wore those all day. My curlers all day.
you didn't even let me finish.
Yeah, you're right.
Typical.
Good call.
It's not that you have a bald spot. It's just your hair was like this.
Yes.
Yes.
Which is because of my curlers. Because I haven't... Have I shown them?
And I'm right.
And I'm literally always white. Keep that right there. I have those donuts in my hair. I have 4 donuts.
Yeah.
Like a mohawk. So all my hair is pulled up as tight as it can. So then it just
You're ripping it out.
It doesn't rip it out. They're not socks. Why did I say socks?
You said donuts.
Oh.
Got like a baker's dozen on your head.
An even baker's dozen. Yeah. Hi, guys. I'm going to be as weird as possible.
I know.
This is exciting, though. If this actually makes it the cut, I hope it does. I actually won't know how to act. Who do I talk to? I'll just talk to you.
Yeah. Okay.
But should we talk about it, or are we just going to not address
What do you want to
it?
talk about?
That we're doing a video podcast right now.
Oh, everyone, you might not know. We're doing a video podcast right now.
This is a big day.
We've got the full production company behind us.
Bob, thank you. Tim, lighting guy,
Yeah.
you're the best.
We had hair and makeup.
They gave me a bald spot, but so they're fired, but it's fine. We did have craft services make us a nice iced coffee.
A little vanilla latte, if you will.
Hope is great at making coffee with her new Nespresso.
I'm just saying.
She's good.
It's the whole package, but
You are.
neither here nor there. Okay.
This is so exciting, though. Okay, I'm going to be done.
So,
I don't know how to act. Give me a couple episodes and then I'll act normal.
yeah. This is like, okay, can I talk about the book club really quick?
Yes. Oh,
Okay,
this is exactly like that. I'm so fucking weird.
We have a book club. If you don't know, you should come if you're in Ohio, or if you're not, it's worth a plane trip.
I think so.
Where was I going with this? Oh, we had our second meeting and we walked in. Brooke was late. And
You were late because you were waiting on me.
I'm scared to go in places, even though I go into this coffee shop every day. So I'm like, I'll just wait for you, Brooke. So I also was late. So we walk in and there's like people we don't know there. And I think we're both just assuming they're not there for the book club.
Always.
Because we're like, no.
Could never be me.
It couldn't be about us. So we're standing there and waiting for our coffee, and I hear this girl go, yeah, I'm here for the book club. And I look, and Brooke's like, and she runs up to me and she goes, new people. And I was like, Brooke, shut the hell up.
Shut up. I can't contain my excitement.
No.
I feel like
But it's a good thing.
it's
always coming from a good place.
It is. And also, if I was a new person at a book club and I came by myself, which is brave, first of all, I would be so excited if people were like, new people.
person.
Well, not like, hey, that's a new person. Ha ha. I was in a welcoming way. Right? Or was it like that,
Yeah.
the first one?
It was good.
Okay.
We didn't clap.
Okay, clap now, and then maybe I can edit it. It's harder to do. Okay, you clap.
I'll clap.
Ooh. Thank you, Hope. Damn it, the one job.
I thought about it too before we started recording. And
Thank you for remembering.
You're welcome.
Yeah.
Shout out to Megan and I. For the first time, we tried to record this.
And I was taking it very seriously, and everyone was making fun of me. It was great. Loved that for me.
Okay. Anyway, so 2 exciting things are happening this week. Number 1, we're on camera.
Yeah. Also, if this actually doesn't make it on camera, just disregard all of this camera talk for everyone listening audio.
And number 2, we're talking about the newest Emily Henry release.
And we can show everybody. This is exciting, actually. This is really exciting. That could be the thumbnail.
Could be. I think I covered my face, though, because I couldn't see the camera. So,
why couldn't you see the camera?
Oh,
you want like that. And it's me.
It's perfect. Yeah.
Yeah.
We have Great Big Beautiful Life here
I'm so
by Emily
excited.
Henry. We're ready to dive in.
You know what I just realized?
What?
All my notes are on my phone, which is currently recording.
That's okay.
It's fine. I'll remember.
You're going to be fine. This
fine.
might be good. Can you get them on your laptop?
I don't think so.
Okay. You're good.
Yeah, no.
I have my notes, so I feel confident.
I do too. Okay. Next time, see, we're working out the kinks here, everyone.
That's sad.
Wait, what were those?
Nothing.
What were those?
Did you see that post I sent you last night? And
No.
Oh, okay.
I don't have to. Whatever.
Oh, it was.
TikTok or
I'll read you
Instagram.
the quote, and that's it. This
Oh,
is a
you wrote
good
it
life
down?
lesson. Yeah.
Okay.
I was on our Instagram page, and we follow somebody. You must have done it. It's like beauty by, I don't know. She posted this like sequence of pictures, and she was like, as I'm like going into my like either 30th or 35th year, like this is what I want to remember and like what I think people should know. And the second slide, I sent it to you and I said, this literally kicked me in the nuts that I don't have. But it said, remember, it's your mom and dad's first time living too. I was like, whatever. And then it led
that's so true.
It led to me sitting in my bed like this.
Isn't that crazy? Actually, that thought is insane.
Yeah, and then I cried.
Yeah.
But that's really beside the point. But I was taking some notes in my notebook.
Yeah. Holy shit.
Yeah,
Okay.
I just was like, wow.
Well, that's a really excellent point.
Yeah. I probably didn't need to bring it up during the podcast, but
I feel like it could be we could weave it into the story.
honestly,
We could weave it in. But that's actually very profound.
it was. And
Yeah.
I was just like, dang, that's a great point. And then anyway,
I'm going to have to chew on that one for a while.
yeah, I chewed on it for a long time last night. All good things
All good things. All good things.
and sad, but again,
Okay.
I should rip that page out.
I didn't even see it.
No, it's fine.
Then I thought it was something bad or something.
No.
That's embarrassing.
I'm quitting the podcast.
Don't do that to me.
Okay.
Okay.
Do you want to do the quick summary?
Sure.
Okay, go for it.
Okay, so this book follows Alice, mostly. That's not true. Fuck. Okay. This book has a very big plot, and it has multiple plots going on at the same time. So one part of the plot is Alice. She's a writer, and also Hayden. He's also a writer. Hayden. Oh, I was like, did I say
No,
it
it's
wrong?
just for like dramatic effect.
Yes. And basically they are both vying for the position of writing Margaret Ives's life story.
Yeah.
and they're competing over the course of a month. They're like interviewing her, and they're going to give her their book pitch at the end of this month. She has been like a recluse for the last lot of years. And she used to be this big like socialite, just famous for being rich, basically. And she had this whole story, and it's all about her life story as well. So we have chapters that are like about Alice and Hayden and Margaret, and we also have the previous chapters or whatever, the story, and it's about her life, and it's about how the press, like the headlines that the press was putting out about them, mostly negative, and what the real story was, what her side of the story was. And so obviously they're falling in love because that's how it goes. And then also we're learning all of these big secrets in Margaret's life and how it actually was. Very interesting.
Yeah.
I don't know if I should say more. Is that?
I think it's good.
Great.
So before we go any further,
yeah,
I think, and we missed this, but just a moment for the cover.
It's so pretty.
Emily Henry, her what?
It's the Nicolette, isn't it? Is that the piece of art? Is that what that's supposed to be?
Oh.
Wasn't it like kind of like a sunrise?
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Okay.
Well, that's even cooler now.
Whoever does Emily Henry's covers is just amazing. Like the colors always grab you, and they just look like such happy books to read.
Yeah.
The only complaint here is that Reese's Book Club sticker is on it. I would really like that removed, but it in fact is not a sticker. It's on there.
But good for Emily Henry.
Yes.
For getting in on that, because I'm sure that was a nice boost for her. But we don't like it.
Yeah. Don't mess with the covers. Anyway. Okay. Let's talk about Alice.
Oh, Alice.
I liked Alice.
Me too.
I thought she was optimistic.
I loved her.
Despite like her family kind of crapping on her a little bit.
Yeah.
I really liked her personality and just like her zest.
I loved it. No, I really liked her, and I liked how she, well, I know we're talking about Alice, but I like how they like interacted with each other, because it feels like grumpy sunshine, but he's not even grumpy.
No.
But
I noted we love a brooding man.
Yes, we do. But I just liked how she has an outlook like on everything. And she's like, like things like, he says, some people are just assholes, Alice. And she's like, well, some, but not most.
Yeah.
Because a lot of people have something going on. And I just like that outlook. She's so positive, even though she's had shit happen to her. I loved it very much.
I did too.
Yeah.
Yeah. And that brings us also to Hayden, brooding,
I
but
like him.
You think he's like mean and arrogant, but then you're kind of finding out like, oh, he's actually not. Like, he is who he is, but he like does think about others
very much.
So we like that.
Also, I think it's funny because this is like, not that she's not like taking it from anybody else, but this is a very typical man in a book where you think he hates her and then and then he doesn't. Yeah. But I don't care. I will eat it up every time. Yeah. Big fan of that.
Any like brooding man too. Be grumpy. Yeah. We're going to get to the bottom of this.
I also loved how he was like, no, if that's what I meant, I would have said it.
Yes.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Or yes, he was like, yeah, if I didn't want to do that, I wouldn't have done that. Okay.
Okay. So first of all, hot. Second, I would also like to adopt this.
Yeah.
I don't have that in me.
I don't have that in me at all.
We know.
Oh.
I do it too. You're on another level, but I do it too.
You're definitely the worst, but
imagine doing what he did. He said,
I break out in hives.
I know, but he said, I hardly ever do anything out of obligation.
Okay.
I thought of you immediately.
Did you really?
I did. I did.
Okay.
We just need a little bit of Hayden in our lives. Honestly, if I could be 50% Hayden and 50% Alice, I would be
the perfect person.
That's the perfect person.
They stand up for themselves, but they're like extremely happy and optimistic, excited about life.
Like, excuse me. Yeah. That's the dream. That's
What
the
more do
dream.
we need? Okay. Thank you, Emily, for solving all of life's problems.
As always.
Okay. Margaret. What's up with Margaret?
No one knows till the end.
Literally. I found myself throughout the book like, okay, give us a nugget of what is going on here. Like, you know, something's going on.
Yeah. I could not tell you. Like, did you have any guesses?
No. Other than I was like, I thought that Jody was her sister.
I wasn't sure because I didn't know how old Jody was. I couldn't remember how old they said she was.
I thought they weren't telling us because she was her sister.
Okay. Yes.
So I was like, I've got it, Jody.
Yeah. You're Laura. Yeah. Oh.
So.
Ruh-roh. But still, I was like, yeah, obviously something's going on with Jody. And then at the end, when Hayden's like, all she does, she doesn't talk about herself at all. And I was like, now what?
Yeah.
Like, that's crazy.
Yeah.
But I did not have that figured out.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
So throughout the book, like, we're only getting Alice's point of view.
Yeah.
Which is the, like, just one thing that I think would have elevated this book even more is to have Hayden's point of view as well, too, which is not Emily Henry's cup of tea, the dual point of view. But I think for this one, it would have just, like, enhanced her writing a little bit.
It would have made a ton of sense and helped the story, I feel like.
I think if we were able to see Alice's side plus, like, Hayden's conversations, it would have given us all the more information. I did think, I mean, okay, for Margaret's family, it was a lot of information.
Yeah.
When I was reading, I was trying to, like, make sense of it all, and I almost was like, okay, I feel like I need to draw a family tree here.
Mm-hmm. She even says that in the book.
I know, and then she said that. Yeah.
Did she have one in the real book?
No.
Oh.
But I think that would have made the book a little bit better for me, was if we had that. Mm-hmm. But one could argue then you would, like, you might figure things out.
Yeah, I think you would.
So.
Well, because things like Ruth being actually Gerald's daughter.
Yeah. Now, I will say, when they. Was that his name?
Yes. Because I always get the. Like Lawrence?
Yeah.
Then Gerald. Then Margaret's dad and sister. Yeah. So it would have been Gerald's daughter, Ruth.
Yeah.
Nina's daughter.
Yeah.
See?
It's a lot. What were we saying?
Basically that I was going to say like that. It would have spoiled that. Yeah. Because it would have been listed as it should be listed as Gigi's daughter so that it's not revealed to us until later.
Yeah. Now, I will say about Ruth, like when they were talking about how he like raised his niece like better than his kids, I was like, okay, yeah. My spidey senses were like tingling a little bit.
I was just like,
no, because the whole time you're like, okay, I know that there's more. Like we haven't gotten to the juicy stuff. Yeah. What's going on? That's when I was like, maybe. No, yeah. But then I was like, hope you're reading way too much into this as per the usual.
We weren't reading enough into it.
Apparently not.
It seems like.
Yeah. So one thing that I really liked at first, we were talking about how you think Hayden like doesn't like Alice because he was like, oh, I'm going to get the job. Like, it doesn't matter. Like, I'm not going to get close to you. Like all these things, like we can't be together because I'm going to hurt you when I get this job. And it came off really arrogant at first. And you were like, ooh, I don't like him. But he actually was like caring for her. Yeah. Because Margaret had asked him to come and like possibly do her story. And Alice didn't know that. She thought they like maybe both
like searched. Like she searched her out for forever to find Margaret.
And it was interesting how Emily could like make you think, oh, like he's not good. And then you're like, oh, wait.
I loved him from the second I saw him.
You did?
I did. Because I was like, I know there's a storm going on under there.
That's just such a flip to
No, it
to
is.
go
No,
from
it
like
is.
being arrogant to like, wait, he was thinking of her.
Yes.
You wouldn't think
No, I
that would
didn't
ever
think
happen.
that. I just thought he was being arrogant, but I kind of liked it.
You said slap me around a little bit.
Yes. Literally. Is that still recording? Yes.
I don't know.
Yeah. So I did like it. I was like, I thought it was kind of like playful banter. He's like, I'm not gonna get together with someone who I'm gonna steal their job in a month.
Yeah. Did you listen to this or read it?
I read most of it, and then I got that free audiobook,
Right.
and then I would say I only listened to like 10% of it probably.
Okay.
But then I went back today and I tried to listen as much as possible
Okay.
again. So
You always do that, yeah.
it helps me it helps me when I have my phone with my notes, but it does help me solidify things or like, oh yeah, I wanted to talk about that.
Yeah.
But I don't have my notes, so it's fine.
Let's talk about Theo.
Okay. I was so glad. I thought they were going to drag that out.
Yeah.
I thought Emily was going to drag that out. I thought it was going to be like he would even come visit and she would like have to have this moment. I was so glad we didn't do that because that would have been a waste of everybody's time.
Yeah.
So I'm so glad it was just basically she just didn't try and then it just fizzled out because she was the only one trying.
And I love how her friends were like, you were the only one who tries.
Yeah.
Like, you need to dump him. They hated on Theo so hard. And I loved that.
Me too.
The best friends.
Amen.
But they're like, you need to stop with this. And then they kind of got in her head a little bit. And she was like, oh, wait, let me like back off and see.
Yeah.
And he proved her completely right.
Yeah.
And then it was just done. And it was great.
I was so glad.
And then that door opened up the door for Hayden.
Amen. Oh my God.
I did feel like she kept like dangling a carrot and then would like snatch it back. And I was
She
like,
did.
just give us the carrot.
I liked it.
Yeah, it was
Yeah,
exciting.
I liked it. Let it dangle.
Oh my gosh.
I loved it.
Yeah.
Okay, I wanted to say,
Yeah.
so this book, I really liked the half and half. I really, really enjoyed Margaret's story. Like, I feel like personally that was the shining star of the book. Margaret's story was.
Really?
Yes. Now, Alice and Hayden's story, phenomenal.
Okay.
For me, yes. Okay. I figured we would probably disagree on this. Did you read Seven Husbands of Evelyn Hugo?
Yeah.
Because this
We read
reminds
it
me-
together.
Oh, okay, perfect. This reminds me so much of that book,
Yeah.
but this one is way better.
Or like a Great Gatsby type, like family
Yeah.
vibe. I
Yeah.
thought that.
Yeah, I just like the story, like she's writing somebody's biography. Also, this had a much happier ending than
Yeah.
Seven Husbands, and I liked how the romance, like Seven Husbands, that book, technically, I would think it's just a fiction.
Yeah.
But I liked this, how the today world was really fleshed out with the Alice and Hayden.
Yeah.
Like this to me, well, this is getting to the end, final thoughts.
Well,
it fine?
It's fine. Go ahead.
This to me was like the perfect book because it was so fleshed out.
Dang.
Because I loved the romance part of it.
Yeah.
Most romance books are like all really the most part of it is the romance and it's the development of that relationship, which I love to read. That's like all I read.
Yeah.
But this was like half and half, I feel like.
Okay.
And it was half like this really interesting story that wasn't, I mean, there was some love in it, but it was like mostly just a story. And I loved that. But like if I had just read that, I would feel like I was lacking in romance. But then we got that with Hayden and Alice. And I loved that. And it was like great romance too.
Yeah.
I liked the even, like,
Okay.
this is what I want in a book. Not every time, but a lot of the time, this is like what I would want. It's like so much, I guess, like plot outside of the romance, but the romance is like perfect.
Yeah.
In my mind.
No, it's
I really liked it.
a good point.
Yeah. Okay.
I felt like I got in my head a little bit about it today because I saw Emily Booked Up did like a review on
Yes.
this and like her weekly, like whatever she's been reading. And it said like, Emily Henry, you let me down, which I don't I don't think this book let me down at all. It's not going to go on the top like Emily Henry favorites. That's still Happy Place and Funny Story to me. But she said in it, like, I found myself like not caring as much about Margaret's story and wanting to like rush through it.
I get that.
And I found myself doing that a little bit, but at the same time, it always makes me mad when people like don't, like, specifically like book lovers. Yeah. They don't like the other stories involved. Like, everyone's like, hey, we didn't want to hear about the sisters. No, I liked hearing about the sisters. Oh, yeah. So I'm like, hope now you're like doing what you didn't like before.
It feels different, I think, because it's like in the past it already happened. It's like done.
I just mean like other stories within the story. I'm usually like, no, like,
I am normally like that too. Totally.
But this one just
one I don't know. I just really liked
touched you, you know?
I think it was just really interesting. At the very beginning, I was like, okay, I don't care about the history of Lawrence and him acquiring the mines and the inn and whatever. Like, that was part boring. Of the story. It was part of his story. But then once it got mostly to Margaret and like how her parents met and then them and then the cult and all that shit, like that was so interesting to me. Yeah. And then Cosmo, like all of that was very, very interesting.
I do always find those like tragic stories, like especially like cults and stuff, like I don't want to hear like
I was really into that.
the nitty gritty of it, but like it's always like interesting, you know.
I understand what you're saying,
and even with Cosmo I was like, ooh, like full time. So I think we can hold both of those as truths, you know. Oh, okay. So. Okay, one of my favorite parts of the book was Alice was being like optimistic about something. I honestly forget what it was, but Hayden was like, no, like, I don't think, you know, like he was just like, no, I don't see that way. But he said to her, I would love for you to show me your world. Yes. That took my breath away. There were two moments in this book, and I made notes of them because I was like, but that moment, I was like, what? Like the highest compliment to say to somebody, I wish I could see the world through your eyes.
Yeah. I loved that.
Are you kidding?
Truly the dream.
I'm not over it still. I know. I think if somebody told me that, I would just, first of all, we're getting married.
Yeah, immediately. Yeah. Instead of, because in that situation, I think it was like when she was talking about she wanted like the biscuits to be pink. Yeah. And because like the sunrise is like happy, or it's like playing with you, and he goes, I've never thought that. Yes. And then she thought he was kind of talking down on her, like making fun of her a little bit, or like whatever. And she's like, well, that's just the way I see it. And he goes, yeah, I would love to, or like, I've never thought of it that way, but I would love to see the world like you do, or whatever. And it's just like, oh, okay. Oh, we're getting married right now? Okay. Like, truly.
We're engaged.
We're engaged to be married. Oh my God. That was like the perfect thing. Yeah. Yes.
Yeah, I loved him.
I loved him.
Yeah.
Yes. Also, when after she visited her mom, which I guess that we could talk about the mom. Yeah. Well, after she visited the mom, when he was like, you're clearly not fine. Yes. Why are you acting? Why didn't you just tell me? It doesn't always have to be fine, basically. And then she got really pissed about it. And obviously they made up about it. But like, I did like how he pushed about it.
But I feel like her getting pissed too about it is a genuine like reaction and a normal reaction for people like that, to be like, no, and then like run away, have their moment, and then come back. For sure. So I was fine with her like getting upset with him, because I was like, I could see that happening.
No, I could too. I was just saying I liked how he was basically
he called her out.
He called her out, and he's like, no, you're literally, why don't you just tell me? And we find out also like he did that because his mom was not fine for a lot of his life, and he doesn't want that to happen again, and he didn't want to miss the signs. So that was like triggering for him too. But I liked how he called her out about that, because it would be easy to be like, okay, someone said they're fine. Okay, I guess they're fine, even though they're literally like crying right now. Yeah. But yes, I see what you're saying. But yes, so they went to go see her mom.
Yeah. Which they have an interesting relationship.
I first of all, like the most like, is idyllic the word? Childhood? It felt like, is that the word I'm thinking? I don't know. But like the garden and like she's always out in the garden, like planting stuff. And then there's like fresh dinners.
Come on.
Like the life, like we talked about.
Yeah.
By the way, everyone, Hope and I, and hopefully we can convince Macon.
I think we can.
I think we're gonna all buy a giant plot of land and all like have houses on there and like live off the land. That's the plan.
Yeah.
Thanks.
It's happening.
Okay.
Thank you. Bye.
And that'll be us
in the
chopping
garden.
veggies in the garden. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
But our mom is like very like. I mean, they were like very hippie when they were growing up.
Yeah.
They met on a commune, and the parents did, and they like raised their girls to be like, I mean, they're like fixing all their clothes, like personally. They, whatever. They're very like, they live off the land. They don't have too much. Very practical people.
Yeah.
Especially mom. Dad is more silly and stuff, but she just does not feel like she fits in with her mom. And her mom she always feels like her mom is saying like, you could be doing more. Like your job is silly, basically is what she says. She at least feels that way. When they made up, I was a little confused because I feel like the mom was like, oh, you belong here. Did she like take ownership other than saying your dad was just always so much better at this than I was? Like, did she? I feel like
I don't remember like thinking she didn't.
I know it felt fine in the moment, but now I'm thinking about it like you've actually made your daughter feel like shit for like forever.
Yeah.
And it felt like, actually, did she even apologize? I don't think she apologized. Although I feel like in her own way, like it worked out.
I felt like, her mom was kind of like the spokesperson for like in your own way. And I'm not like saying it's right at all, but I think you could see she did love her. Yeah. And like did try her best, but it was like all in her own way. That wasn't quite good enough. Yeah. And unfortunately, Alice like suffered at the hand of that. Yeah. But
well, like when she apologized or when that she like yelled at her mom and was like, I don't fit in here. Yeah. And you're constantly telling me like I could do more because you think my job is dumb and I'm not living my carbon neutral life like you want me to do. Yeah. Stuff like that. I was just trying to like think. She was basically like, I mean,
now that you're saying that.
Well, she did say. She is sorry. Like she feels bad. She can't be like her dad. She said that. I forgot. She did say that. It was really, all right. I take it back. She said it fine. She said it way too intensely, actually. Yeah. No, and then that relationship healing was really cool. Yeah. Okay, never mind. I take it all back. Pretend.
We love the mom.
We love the mom, actually. And she was just like. It felt like she's broken as well, obviously. Yeah. So it's like again. They're living for the first time too. Brought it back there.
Wow. Yeah, I think I felt like the whole time like her mom was doing her best. Yeah. Like trying to continue on with her life and like after losing her husband and all that. And like Alice even talked about that a lot. This book talked a lot about her losing her dad, which is fine. But
liver failure, at least.
Yeah, not the big C, but I guess. I started reading about it and I was like, come on, damn it to hell. It's fine. Honestly, no, it was fine. But like she kept talking and I really kind of resonated with it a little bit because she was like, well, like, I miss him, I miss him. And then she'd be like, and he's still in our group message because like, I can't take him out. My sister, like, I forget what she said about the sister. Too busy. My mom probably doesn't know how to take him out. So like, just like openly talking about the grief, but like also letting everybody kind of like be in their own skin about it. I thought that was really smart. And honestly, Emily Henry does such a good job with like hard subjects. that it felt like really real.
Yeah.
The other moment that freaking took my breath away was when she texted her dad.
Yeah.
Okay. That was sad. But also like a really beautiful moment. Mm-hmm. And I think it like kind of talked about like how like it kind of showed like how grief is, especially when losing a parent. So I did like appreciate that. And I felt like it was a growing moment for her too. Yeah. But like reading it, I was like, okay.
Yeah.
But yeah. I don't know.
She writes just very well.
Yeah. I put here like she always paints a story that encompasses all of the senses. Yes. Like I can see it, I can hear it, I can smell it. Like, I feel like I can taste it. Like, all the things. Like, these stories, it's just everything. She describes places well. She describes people well.
Her descriptions are the best I've ever read, for sure.
It's just so colorful.
Yes.
It's always some, like, little town where you just want to go there.
Little town.
Yeah.
No, I'm not going to keep going.
Like, I feel like, I don't know. I always picture, like, a Maine... type situation for all her books, and it just makes me really want to go there and like live in an Emily Henry book.
Any of them, please.
Yeah, literally any of them.
Yes.
We both looked.
Yeah,
all of them.
No, yeah, it was perfect. Speaking of Emily, describing things very well. I don't think she has kids.
I don't think so.
But the way that she describes Hayden's fears about becoming a parent, I was like, are you sure you don't have kids? It was insane. His worries about what if this happens? What if this happens? What if this happens? And then what if everything goes right? But at the end of my life, I'm like sitting there and I can't remember anything and I can't even talk to them. They can't talk to me. And like, there was a lot more about that was said. And I was just like, oh, okay. Yeah. Oh, you're inside my brain, Emily. Got it. Okay. Like, it was very, like, scary, profound how she was just able to put it into words so easily. And then I liked, it was encouraging whatever Alice said. I can't remember, and I don't have my phone on me to look at my notes. But it was like a healing thing, just reading it. And it was like, she just, like, made it up out of thin air. How do you do that, Emily? Especially
all these things that she talks about, all of the mental health, all of the things. Crazy. I feel like either she just researches things really well, or she's just like a really like emotionally mature person. Oh, I want to be your friend. Be.
Same, Emily.
We live in the same state.
We could be friends. Come to our book club.
You would literally...
What if she came
there
in?
would be no living with you. I would have to tranquilize you.
I think I would stop talking. I know I wouldn't even be able to nervous ramble. I would just not talk. So you'd
probably do some like giggle. Like,
you know what I'd probably do? I'd probably put on a top hat and do a dance for her. Just the weirdest possible thing. I'd have to call security. She'd just leave. Security. Zach, security.
Zach, can you come get Brooke?
Oh my gosh. No, like, anyways, she's just, her writing's perfect, but that's all. Like, it's perfect. There's another thing she said, which I was like, this is my life motto. And it was based, well, I can't remember because it's not in my notes, but it was basically her mom, the way her mom raised them was like, not to be focusing on the hypothetical knife poised at your neck.
Yes.
But to think of like all the good thing or all the things you could do before that happens. And a lot of times that wouldn't happen. So basically not sitting in your own shit, not like focusing on the negatives in your life, not being a victim about everything. But just like living life to the fullest, doing what you can instead of focusing on those bad things that could happen.
Yeah.
I just really like took that and I was like, ooh, that's how I want to like raise my kids. Like,
yeah,
because there's plenty of things to complain about or that are like not great, and you could focus on that. But then they're gonna also focus on that their whole life and when they're older. So I was like, ooh, I'm taking that. Like Thank you, Emily. Honestly, I love this book very much.
Good. Yeah, no, it was really good.
Yeah. Okay, how about the major reveals? Okay, so I know you weren't as big of a fan as of Margaret's story, but then it does come, and they all melt.
Really comes full circle.
Yeah. There were not one, but two secret Nicolettes.
Yeah.
And yeah, basically we find out at the end that she gave up a baby right after Cosmo died. She found out she was pregnant. That's why they were on their way to the hospital.
Yeah.
We had a Princess Diana situation.
Yeah,
on our
we
hands.
did.
Pisses me off. I know this is fake. Princess Di was not, but crazy. Oh, that made me mad. Yeah. But she was like, going to the hospital to get checked out for her pregnancy, and she ended up sending everybody away. Didn't even think anything of that when she said that.
Yeah,
even though
it happened earlier in the story.
It happened earlier in the story.
And she said, I think she said, like, I said before, like, you have to go away longer than 9 months so people don't know.
Yeah.
And you're like, yeah, you did.
You literally said that.
You already told us what happened.
She did. And yeah, she gives up the baby because she knows that this life is just not, this is not for a child. This life took Cosmo from her.
Yeah.
This life, basically kind of took Laura from her too. Not kind of. Did take Laura from her, I would say. Also, the fact that I know Laura had so much trauma though. Oh wait, I didn't even get to that point. Hold on. Wait, pause that. Basically, that is Hayden's mom.
Which so Hayden is her grandson.
Oh my gosh, that was such an amazing reveal.
And she sought him out to get close to him.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
But then she couldn't fucking tell him. Yeah. Okay, wait. Okay. So they have this third act breakup because she can't tell him.
Yeah.
And you know what? It's one of the first third act breakups that I actually could get behind.
What?
Literally, she would be sued for millions of dollars. And Margaret would have done it.
And that's also not something you really like drop on somebody.
No. I kept thinking, what would I say? I'd say, you got to talk to, well, she did say you got to talk to Margaret, but like, be like, I signed an NDA. I literally can't. And there's this huge thing that we can't be together unless you know this. That's what I'd say. I'd say as much as possible without like.
Your eyes would be like.
I'd be like, how's your mom doing? How is she?
Do you know your grandma?
Yeah. You know how your mom, she know who her parents are? That's so crazy. Can you even believe that? Like, that's the shit I'd be doing. It went better because she was more ethical about it.
Yeah.
And she did. I was afraid she wasn't going to do anything.
And Margaret said, like, we're not telling him.
Yes. Oh, that sucked. I was like, ma'am, you're 80.
Yeah. You better.
I'm so sorry.
Do you know you have 30 minutes?
You 30. Truly, I was like, okay.
Time's ticking, Grandma.
Time is ticking. And then you're going to take away Hayden's grandma from him once you kick the bucket.
But honestly, at that point for Alice, I'd be like, well, she did. That was your grandma.
Oh, well, me too. But then he could have like gotten to know her anyways.
Yeah.
And she's like, because he didn't like me. I'm like, you're 80 and you're worried about if someone likes you?
Also, you weren't giving him anything to like you with.
No. And
we all know he's a brooding guy and he's an onion that you have to peel back the layers.
Onions have layers. Ogres have layers.
Yeah.
Okay. And... oh, yeah. That was petty.
Yeah. But Alice writes her a note and like...
Okay. Yes. Oh, the end was just so good. I'm so sorry.
It was good.
The end was... I clearly really, really liked this book.
You did.
I did.
Because you texted me and you're like, I'm crying at the end. And I was like, what are you crying for? And then I was like, oh, no. Okay.
So, okay. It was so layered. Again, onions. Layered. And so... they break up or whatever. She goes to her mom. I'm not doing well. And she just starts living with her. They have this whole breakdown. And basically she wants to know her dad's story.
Yeah.
Or their story, but mostly about her dad, I feel like. So they sit down and start fucking saying the whole story.
Yeah.
That was beautiful.
And she decides to write their story.
Their story. Holy shit. Like, it was beautiful. That was so beautiful. And after she's been healing, her friends come. That was really special. Her mom invited her friends. That was, like, good for her to do that. Okay. Like, good for her soul. And then I feel like it was a while later. She ends up writing the letter to Margaret, just basically detailing all the things about Hayden. And then he knocks on her door and he reads her the letter to her. Holy shit. And it's just like all the things about him that she has gathered. And then she's like, and also I am in love with him, and so you really should tell him so I can we could be together. Yeah. I was so glad she said that. And then Margaret also sent him the letter and sent him her own letter. Yeah. About like, hey, I'm your grandma, by the way. That was like so special.
It was special.
Also, Margaret didn't give him anything. All she did was deny his questions and ask him about himself. Yeah. And he doesn't like to talk about himself. So like, truly, if you did want to get to know him, you were not trying very hard. I said it.
I said what I said.
I said what I said. Oh, also, Jody is her niece. Yeah. By the way, we didn't even mention Jody, but... Or did we?
Jody didn't have, like...
No. But she was mad. She was gone because she was pissed at what she was doing. Yeah. And you do kind of find out... That was a little skeezy of Margaret. Yeah. She literally was, like, promising this girl a possible book. That sucks. Yeah. Not a fan of that. I mean, she did pay her, but... Yeah. Still. Yeah. To get her hopes up. But then it's just, like, full circle because... You know, okay, so we get the end, and it's... They had written her story together. Margaret's story. You find out, you know, Cosmo is his grandpa. Yeah. Margaret's his grandma. And that's so special, especially because Alice's dad was so into Cosmo. Like, that makes it even more, like, that's why. I was like, it was everything. And then they had a daughter, and her name is Laura. It was just so many things.
It was wrapped up so well.
It was wrapped up beautifully. And I feel like a lot of times it's like can be cheesy in romances. It was like, for me, it was perfect. Yeah. And I loved how he was immediately like, yeah, no, I'm moving to Atlanta, by the way. Yeah. And then when he said, Alice on my mind. Oh my Lord. And just, and then the end, like, they're writing their story. So they can show Laura, like, and introduce her into their great, big, beautiful life. Oh, okay. Sure.
When books end with the title, you never expect it. No. And then they say the title name and you're like,
oh, I'm wrecked. Cool.
Yeah. Just demolished in all the best ways.
She got us good. Yeah. She got me good.
Yeah. For all the people saying, like, overall the book was a letdown, come on.
Yeah. I understand if people are expecting those books. Yeah. This was not that. Yeah. This was different.
She didn't promise it to be either.
She didn't. It was a deviation.
Even though I said, like, well, I wanted to, like, get past Margaret's just
that's fine.
Still, but great book.
That was your natural. That was your natural how you felt about it. It's not wrong because that's just how you felt about it. But, like, I get it. If you are expecting happy place, funny story, beach read, book lovers, people we meet on vacation. This is not that. No. This is different. This is way, in my opinion, more of a fiction story than a heavy romance book. Yeah. So I understand if people were let down in that sense, if that's what they were expecting. How, like, kind of how we were let down originally with Funny Story. Yeah. Even though it was a romance, but for some reason we thought it was... I don't even know what we were expecting because now we love it. So I don't really know what even happened there. Yeah. But I feel like it's something similar to that. Yeah. But this is still very different from her other stories. Yeah. I'm such a fan of this, though, because she can clearly write just a fiction story very well and a romance really well. Yeah.
And she can intertwine them.
Yeah. I loved this so much. Very.
So what'd you rate it?
5. Did you 4?
I was trying to decide. I feel like I would land at like a 4.5.
Yeah.
Because it's not like as amazing, just to me, for my personal preference, as like Happy Place and Funny Story. So it doesn't feel right giving like a full 5, but like a 4 seems like not enough. So
that's fine.
I'm rambling, but probably a 4.5.
Sure. I will say also, this is what I wanted out of Beach Read.
Yes.
So Beach Read, again, still liked it. Gave it 4 stars. We talk all about this in our Emily Henry episode, which you should go listen to.
Yeah.
But in that, there's a lot of writer's block, which we don't experience writer's block in this book, but it's all about the writing process. And they sit and write for hours on their computers. And it also could be Emily showing us what it's like to have writer's block is kind of, I think, what that book was. A lot of what that book was. But I liked this and getting to really dive in to the story that was being written.
Yeah.
Because she randomly talked to us about the story that the Great Family Marconi or whatever, Family Marconi, whatever, in Beach Read. But I did not care. Yeah. Because it would be like a page and that's it. And like, it was fine. Like, I just didn't really care. I just liked this, just made me way more invested in that process. Yeah. And we also, it was more of like a show don't tell. We were getting shown the story rather than telling us about them writing the story.
Yeah.
I liked that better.
Yeah. Nice.
Yeah. I feel like there's so much I didn't say about this.
Like what?
You're like, how do you have more to say about this? It was about Laura. Oh, I know. So Laura had the cult thing. Yeah. Which, by the way, big fan of that part of the story. Very interesting. I'm assuming, like, she just, like, abandoned Margaret. Yeah. But she had a severe trauma happen to her. Yeah. But she didn't even come when Cosmo died, right? And just left Margaret alone. Yeah. And they didn't talk for years and years and years and years.
Yeah.
Like, was there a reason? Did I miss like a big fight, or was it just because she had like all the trauma?
I think
not
she was
just because she was severely like abused. Yeah. And like it was a horrible situation.
I think she was just
PTSD, like
had so much trauma that their relationship wasn't going to be what it was before. Yeah.
I was so glad they got to reconnect. Yeah. She only had like, I think 4 years with her. Yeah. But still, yeah, that was, I didn't love that, but yeah, it does make sense because it's like they didn't have as many resources to deal with stuff like that either. Right. And again, Margaret was still really heavily in the public eye, so it would have been like you couldn't really even probably
and she had to like hide out with her.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You're right. Yeah. But I'm glad they got to reconnect. And then she's living with her daughter, with her niece now. So it's like, that's also healing.
She has like a piece of her.
Yeah.
Yeah. That was not a happy ending type of part of the story.
No. Well, poor Laura.
Yeah.
Okay. So, also Cecil. Is that how you say his name? That's how I said it. So he, like, they weren't at his birthday party. His own daughter was not at his own birthday party. Yeah. Right? Jody wasn't there. Or was she there later after they both left? Because they did leave early.
Yeah, maybe. And they just didn't talk about it.
Because that would be like, why is Jody there?
Yeah. Yeah, it could have been.
I don't know. Things to think about. Or like, Margaret not even going to that. I kind of figured she would just live normally on the island, but she's still reclusive. Yeah. She was very famous, but a lot of people, remember she said
like nobody really recognizes me.
Yeah, because she looks so different. Yeah. And then one person said, if whatever her fake name is, if that person is Margaret Ives, I'll eat my foot. I don't know what they said, but something like that. So like, I was kind of surprised. She's just like, I think she's just damaged from all that.
Well, yeah.
Who wouldn't be?
Yeah.
Who wouldn't be?
Yeah, and I think too, like even how she treated Hayden, like you can tell she's just really closed off.
That's so true.
Yeah, just has some issues.
It does make sense. I know I was like, you're 80 and you still care. Well, yeah, that's your whole life.
Yeah.
Okay, Margaret, we'll give you a pass. especially since you were brave and you did it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was really good.
Yeah. I was trying to decide. I still like Happy Place better, I think, but it's so different.
Yeah.
Like
I definitely like it better.
I know. I feel like you can compare those, but this is like feels different to me. Because like the love story, that one's a better love story.
Yeah.
But it feels like a different book. It's like comparing like a fantasy almost. Not really.
Yeah.
That's totally different. But like, I don't know. It feels like a fiction.
Right.
It feels like fiction with a really, really good love story.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah.
Things to think about. And I don't know what I think. So.
Something to chew on.
More things to chew on. That's what we're known for, giving you things to chew on.
Yeah. Yeah.
I forgot we were recording. That's good. Right?
Yeah. We'll see.
Okay. Anything else?
No.
Okay.
Emily Henry for president.
Always and forever.
Yeah.
Remember our book club, June 1st, 4 p.m. Leonard's. Be there or be square. We're talking about One Dark Window by Rachel Gillig.
We can't wait.
Book social
first,
Yeah.
then book club. So
Hope
there's
thought of
something
that.
for everyone there.
Genius.
If you don't want to read the same book, come to the social. You want to talk or listen to us talk about the other book, stay for the second part. There are really no rules.
There's no rules. We're just telling
And if you don't want to talk, Brooke will talk for you.
I will. Yes. And we'll be reviewing One Golden Summer. Is that what that's called?
Which comes out tomorrow.
Well,
But not,
whenever this comes out, it's probably already out. But, well, definitely, I'm not editing this in a night.
Why?
I don't know. Can't do it.
Got plans.
So make sure you read Every Summer After and then One Golden Summer. Thank you. I can't wait.
I feel like I needed to reread them all.
You only need to reread Every Summer After. You don't have to read Meet Me at the Lake.
I know, but I would have wanted to.
And this summer will be different.
That's the yellow and red one, right?
This summer will be different?
Yeah.
Yeah. That doesn't have anything to do with this book.
Kayla has that book, but I want it back.
You can borrow mine.
No, I want my copy back.
Kayla, we're looking at you. Because we're recording it on
We both went.
the video. Okay. Anyways, it's been a pleasure.
It's been great. Remember, subscribe, leave a comment, leave a review. Only positive things because our mental health can't take it.
I cannot.
Did I cover everything?
I think so. Love you. Bye.
Bye.